Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. This is just a little short video. It's not one of my usual scheduled on the hour jobs. This is something I saw, and I thought, really, we need to be quite scared. We have at the moment Russia fighting Ukraine. Russia is a nuclear power. It's led by Putin, who is getting increasingly psychotic. There is no minimum guarantee on this one. Will he hit the button? It's quite possible. You have Iran and Pakistan trading blows. Pakistan is a definite nuclear power. It is thought that Iraq may well be a limited nuclear power. They're scrapping it out over Baluchistan. You have the Saudis and the Yemenis. You have the Houthis in the Red Gulf, in the Red Sea. There's Israel, a suspected nuclear power, taking on the West Bank, Gaza, and now possibly Syria, as well as facing threats from just about everyone else surrounding them, to be honest. The whole world is on a powder keg. And the world's supposed most powerful man is having to use a spoon to eat his milkshake. We'll take a look at this very, very quickly. But if you're not worried, I think you need to start. Here goes. Now, as I say, this isn't a full video, it's just a very short one, but this is actually quite frightening. Yum. Biden, 81, spoons a triple thick milkshake into his mouth during a stop at a cookout after a confused speech where he asked, "Where's Deborah?" in search for a Democrat who wasn't even there. The man is confused. The man does not know who he is or where he is. He frequently zones out and his wife has to rush forward and pretend that everything is fine and smile at the camera and come along, Joe. He's completely lost his mind. I think what they're doing is elderly abuse. I think that they should just 25th him, take him out and do something. But on the other hand, have you seen who would come in his place? Perhaps keeping him there is better. Thankfully, there is an election coming up in 11 months. And I don't care who gets in, but they've got to get rid of Joe. Spoony Joe now, not Sleepy Joe, Spoony Joe. His head is empty. And it's going to be a very dangerous world very quickly. As I say, you have Putin attacking Ukraine, a man with nukes. You've got all that confusion, all that warfare, all that trouble in the Middle East, very tight. That's going to spill over. There'll be lots of different wars going on, different battles going on. It could spill into World War III. And that's not even taking into consideration the likes of North and South Korea and China wanting to invade Taiwan. The world, I think, is at its most dangerous since probably the height of the Cold War in the 60s and 70s. We need to take a step back, and we need leaders who know what they're doing. But when you've got a man who can't operate a milkshake, I don't hold much hope for the future. It is a very, very scary time to be alive. He's just completely lost it. There he is, look. That's how he eats his milkshake. He has to put it in with a spoon. I'm surprised someone isn't standing over there going, "Mee," and making aeroplane noises to get it into him. He's quite literally gone. Come November, chances are Trump will take over. Not saying that Trump is in any way better or different. He's different. I'm not saying he's better. But I get the impression with Trump is that he won't put up with the shit. And he's certainly not mentally deficient like Sleepy Joe. So who knows? Who knows? But, you know, he described this one. He said his shake was triple thick. And you have to wonder, is he talking about the milkshake or himself? Anyway, I shall stop there and come up. But it is truly awful when what's going on in the world. And he is the man with his finger on the nuclear trigger. God help us all. I think the only saving grace is that, what, in 10, 11 months now, in November, we do have the US elections. And it's likely, of course, that Trump will win. That won't half annoy all the wokey freaks. Personally, I think I'd want Trump to win, simply because it'll be fun. And it won't half rub their noses in it. I do like to see these lefty liberal twonks have their noses firmly rubbed in it like a naughty puppy. And he will not put up with the shit that's coming out of Russia or the Middle East or anything like that. He's not that kind of guy, and they know it. And given how apparently ill Putin is, it could be that Trump will outlive him. We do hope so, though whoever comes after Putin may be worse, but hopefully not as insane. Who knows? You never know with the Russians. It's very weird. I guarantee he'll have hair. They have this thing. If you look, this is a true thing. Have a look at Russian leaders. Bald, hairy, bald, hairy, bald, hairy. Putin, bald. Next one, hairy. But it's one of those things. Whoever the hairy president of Russia will be next, he'll have to deal with Trump, probably. Trump isn't going to take any shit. And it's just going to be the sort of world we need. I remember the days of Reagan and Thatcher. And I've got to say, that's when we were peak. Through the 80s, 80 to 88, Reagan-Thatcher era, Britain and America had the strongest relationship we've ever had. And I felt that the world was probably at its safest. And remember, it was Reagan who broke the Soviets. And, it's what happens when you get a strong leader who doesn't bend to popularity or doesn't bend to the wokey liberals. Reagan was a hardliner, and he knew what he wanted, and he stuck to it. He was a great communicator. Of course, being an actor, he was bound to be. But let's hope that Trump comes in and is at least half a Reagan. If he can be half a Reagan, who knows? He may be able to put all these problems away. But I feel very, very worried at the moment. I think what's going on is frightening. And I do foresee a war, and I do think there'll be a major war in Europe, one way or another. And my only hope is it doesn't go nuclear. But that's for the youths of today to worry about. They'll be the ones conscripted. And can you really imagine today's youths being conscripted into the military? They'll shit themselves. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. As I say, it was just something I saw, and it worried me deeply that the world's most powerful man has to have his milkshake with a spoon. God help us all. Thanks for watching. Get back to normal later. Bye.